Sandra, is that you? No, I have to check and see if that's you in the cloud. But you come on down. It may not be you. I guess not. Give a few more minutes. It doesn't matter if anybody show up or not. I really don't care. I'm gonna give a few more minutes before I start. I know there's probably plenty of lives going on. I know Brianna's live is going on. I wanted to just do this as a video, but to give my opinion. But I thought I would live because some of my people have been wanting me to go live, and I hadn't been live. Sandra, you in the clouds? I give a few minutes. Oh, oh, hey, Erica, how you doing? Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Yeah, I thought I'd give you a few minutes. And nice to meet you. Glad you stopped by. Yeah, I figured there's so many lives going on, and I was watching some, and they basically gave me a headache. Um, they're screaming and yelling, and the drag and all that gave me a headache. I said, "Well, let me go live." I was just gonna do a video and just give my opinion, being that I am prior law enforcement, and so I guess I could have just did a video and gave my opinion of what I thought about this young man that uh, all the videos that's going on. I don't know if you or you know who I'm talking about. Um, this young man Bond that got supposedly got killed. Oh, just strolling. Oh, good, good. That had supposedly got killed by the police. Um, and I'm going to have to beg to differ. And my opinion is probably going to be different because, like I said, I'm prior police. Um, just, don't get me wrong. I know what's been going on in the world with police and uh, black people. I know that. And I don't take up for police just because I'm in that brotherhood, because I'm still in that brotherhood. But I don't go for wrong. I'm not going to take up for any wrongdoing. I did see this. I did see the clip of this young man being in the car, and the police was trying to get him to get out of the car, and he refused to get out. At first, they were saying that the police killed another black man. So, I mean, I believed it because it's happened, been happening. But then I heard that he possibly committed suicide. Okay, so that's something different. And I seen one video. I just seen the audio. I think it was heard the audio. When heard the audio, that made me say, well. And then listening to what he had he wanted to tell his mother and his sisters and stuff that he loved them, and that made should make you stop and think that there was something going on with him for him to feel that he had to say, tell my mother and my sisters and my brothers and my dad and all this that I love them. So because it was just the audio, and once he said that, you heard the bullets, heard the shots. Now, granted, the what really puzzled me and concerned me was the 35 to 40 gunshots. One 18-year old sitting in the car, and there was 35 to 40 gunshots. They don't look good. I'm not saying that the officers did anything wrong because they shot that many times. Okay. And I know people are going to say, well, that's overdoing it. Yes, it is. To um, civilian people. Hey, Marilyn, how you doing? You go. Civilian people say, well, that's too many. You don't need to shoot somebody 35 to 40 times. You're right in one instance, and then in the other instance, you have to stop and think. Police are human beings also. We get scared also. We get scared because at the beginning of our shift, what is always said is that we always go home at the end of the night. We always go home at the end of the day. Okay. By any means necessary. And that doesn't mean by just killing people for no reason. Don't get me mixed up. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good, Marilyn. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I haven't been on. I've been lazy. Um, so I did see the actual um, video clip with the audio, crystal clear. And from watching that video, and this is no disrespect to the family, friends, or any of that. I'm just giving you my opinion as prior law enforcement, okay? As prior being a detective. My opinion. And I know a lot of people is not going to agree. and I really um, understand that. Okay, you've been lazy, yeah, me too. I just hadn't been feeling it. And my opinion after watching that video, when the young man called whoever he called, okay, he was already on the phone. Okay, cops was trying to let him know everything is going to be okay. You will be able to tell your family that you love them on your own. Just we need to see your hands. You need to step out the car, and don't reach. And that those things you have to follow those instructions. Okay. And yes, there was four cops. Okay. And he did not want to follow the instructions, which make it more difficult. And this is where I was explaining the possible 35 to 40 shots. Okay. When he had called his aunt or whoever it was that he called and said, tell mom and the brothers and sisters and all this that I love them. He was on the phone. When he reached, when he would not show his hand, not be reaching up under the seat, and when he did reach up under the seat and he raised up, that's where police, you as a police officer, you do not wait until he point the gun at you, and then you're going out to host and start shooting. That's not the way it goes. That's where the part when I say that we are human also. Police officers are human also. People forget. We get scared also. If you are reaching up under your seat, and it can't be a cell phone because you're talking on your cell phone already. You're reaching and you're coming out like that. We're human too. We want to go home at the end of the night. We get scared too because we know we could get shot and we could get killed. And hey, you're trained to protect yourself. You're trained to make sure you go home at the end of the night so you can be home with your family. And what what happened, what I seen, and it wasn't a trick or anything. If you watched the video, you would have seen the young man reach up under the seat, and he was talking to his family, saying, "I love you." He reached up on his seat, and they said beforehand that um, he had been, I don't know, I'm gonna use the term abused by cops previously. Okay, I don't know how true it is. If it was true, I understand his fear, but I don't understand his fear to that degree because there were two other young men in the car. You could see them right before he did any of that. They pulled those two guys out of the car. Those guys got out of the vehicle, but he wouldn't get out. And he kept, man, we're not trying to, you're not going to get killed. We're not going to shoot you. Just show us your hand, stop reaching, and step out of the car. He said no, he wasn't going to get out the car. They didn't start shooting until he reached under the seat and started coming out. And then he put his head, as he came out with the gun, he put his between his legs while he was sitting in the seat. And you seen his head. You heard a gunshot. And when you heard the gunshot, you seen his head go like that, meaning he shot himself. He shot himself. If one of those officers had have shot him, his head, you wouldn't have seen his head or his body come up. It would have went down. So he shot himself. It was suicide. Okay. So people saying that what in a way they are right, because after he pulled the gun and he pulled the trigger and he shot himself, yes, the cops started shooting. Now they said 35 to 40 shots that the four cops made, shot him, the car or whatever the inside of the car. That's how many shots they did. Uh, the only thing that I can tell you on that many shots is that your adrenaline be pumping. If you see someone pull a gun and you thinking that your life is going to be taken, or you could possibly be shot and killed, it's nothing but adrenaline. When you clear that weapon from that holster, and you think about whether you're gonna go home tonight to your family, you start pulling that trigger and backing up and trying to stop the threat. They didn't at the time. They didn't. There's no possible way that they knew if he was shooting at them when he shot himself. And even if he shot himself, that did not mean that he could not have pointed the gun and shot at them after he shot himself. So they had to keep firing until the threat was gone, until the threat is no longer there. He shot himself. He committed suicide. Now, you can't say that the police killed him, okay, when he shot himself. The only way, you have to wait until the young man goes to the office and the coroner. There's going to be uh, two different, uh, I'm going to say two different kinds of bullets. It's going to be the bullets that he had in his gun, where he shot himself with, and then it's going to be the bullets of the officers. And normally, the officers have the same kind of ammunition, and usually they have the same gun, the same model of gun. If they have, uh, let's see, Berettas, they get a Beretta 27, not a Beretta 27, Glock 27, just for instance, a Ruger or whatever. Usually the whole department carry the same kind of weapons. Some of them, they sometimes they have old heads that rather continue carrying the wheel gun, the revolvers, and some of them will allow them to continue carrying revolvers. But most up to date younger officers carry automatic weapons, which is 49 millimeters, uh, 40 millimeters, and I think that's probably as big as they uh, allow them to carry. I don't know if they carry 45s, maybe, but it doesn't matter. The ammunition is going to be same kind of ammunition. There'll be two different kinds of ammunition. The coroner will be able to tell you which bullet killed this young man. They'll be able to tell you which bullet took his life. And until that coroner's report, you can't say that the police killed this young man, because if he shot himself, he committed suicide. And if he was doing suicide by cop, then that's the cops didn't want to take his life. Let me see what's wrong. I thought I heard something about this. I didn't know what was going on because YouTube was beeping about it. Yeah, that's what it was. I left the line because it was getting rough. Yeah, it was giving me a headache. It was a Bama girl. Supposedly she knew them, and supposedly was supposed to been the young guys. He was 18. The godmother, which came to find out that she didn't know the people at all. I mean, well, not at all. She didn't know them well enough to be been involved in what happened. Okay, and doing GoFundMe's and cash apps and what else? What they call them? Super chats and stuff like that. So that's another part of it that's messy. But the part that I'm talking about, because I hear people saying what's important, which it is important, how this young man, because he was still a baby. I mean, he had just turned 18, and it's sad. It was, yeah, it was her life. Um, he had just turned 18, and if you've seen the picture of him, he was very young. You could tell he still had a baby face, and for him to feel that it would be easier to take his life then, and I'm what I'm thinking is that him being so young, he felt he probably felt, because he had that gun on him, he thought it would he probably would get in big trouble having the gun on him. But I mean, to me, and this to me, I don't know what went through his mind other than it had to be, yeah, he had to think that it was that serious. And I'm not saying having a gun charge is not serious in some states, because it is. It's serious in some states, but it's just to me, it's just not as serious that you would rather take your life than to just get out the car and deal with the consequence of them finding the gun on you or in the car. And back to the number of shots. Uh, that was a overkill of shots to some people, and to especially to civilian people, because they understand that even though we are police officers, we are trained, we are still human, we are still human beings. Because if he had shot one of the officers, they bleed blood just like everybody else. It could have killed one of them, or both, two of them, or three of them, and it could have taken them from their family. So people fail to stop long enough to understand that we are human too, and that we get scared too. Believe me, every time that an officer have to pull his weapon, he's scared. He's scared. He's shaking. His knees is shaking. That's not something that's easy to do, that an officer wants to do. So for people to think or not have any sympathy for police officers, uh, or people not to have any sympathy for police officers when they have to be in a gun match. You know, you have to be you have to have sympathy for them and empathy for them. Some of them, if you ever take somebody's life, some officers may never recover from that. You may not know that. The civilian people may not know that. They might not know that they have to go to therapy for 6 months to a year because they've taken somebody's life, or because they've shot someone. They're human. So I mean, the guy, the officers would not have been pleading so with this young man to just let us see your hands and step out the car. You can tell your mother and your family you love them face to face. Just get out. We just need you to step out the car. And I don't understand. I don't understand. And maybe it's not for me to understand. Maybe no one will ever understand or know why he didn't get out the car. And I know they say that he's been abused. I'm using the word abuse. Um, I don't like just saying police. The police beat someone. Um, I just like to say abuse because I don't know if it's true or not. The families, I think, since I didn't hear it straight from the family's mouth, it was said from someone. Some of the people on YouTube said that he was abused by the police before, and that he was scared of the police. And if he had been abused, then rightfully so. Um, I would have been afraid also. But he would, if he wasn't by himself, there were two other guys in the car with, and they got them out the car uh, respectfully. I mean, the way that they're supposed to. if you got a felony stop, um, turned it turned into a felony stop. So with a felony stop, you have to get them out of the car the way they did. They pulled them out the car, they grabbed them by the arm, pulled them out the car, and drug them to the ground. That's a felony stop. That's the way it goes because if there's a gun in the car, they know there's a gun in the car, or there's a possibility that a gun may be in the car. They have to do it that way. My nephew committed suicide 4 years later. I still don't understand why. Yeah, and people think that the family will know, well, the family know their son or know their daughter or know their whatever. They know that they wouldn't have committed suicide. Well, no, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe people think they do, but there may have been something um, that was that may have happened to him when maybe he was in. They said something about he had been arrested before. It may have been something that happened to him before, whatever time. If he had spent time in jail at any time, and that's understandable. There may have been the fact that he just, in his mind, I'm not going. I'm not. I know I got this weapon. Whether it's on me, on my person, or under the seat. That when I realized that we were being pulled. I realized that we were being pulled over. I knew I had this gun on me. I took it off me and slid it up under the seat. If they're going to put everybody out and check their person and then check the car, the gun is going to be found. Maybe just he didn't want to go to jail or want to have to deal with whatever consequences he thought that he may have to deal with. And it may have been bigger than he thought he could deal with, especially being 18 years old, just turning 18 years old. I can understand. Um, but I mean, 18 and um, I just don't. I mean, I know people say, well, you never, you can't say that it wasn't that bad. It wouldn't be that bad. What I'm saying that I just don't think shooting yourself and facing the consequences of you having a weapon when if you didn't have a concealed weapon license, it's just not that. It's just not that bad to just shoot yourself. Even having to spend a little time in jail because you had a weapon on you. I just don't. I just don't see. I just don't feel that it's that bad. Now, don't get me wrong. I going to jail. I'm not saying that it's no picnic, and it's like being at home, but it's damn sure better than being 6 feet under. That's what I'm saying. And he probably just thought it was just too bad to deal with. And it really wasn't. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad to have to deal with the consequences. He was he was just a he was still a child. And this, you know, they say he was working two jobs. You know, no one says that he's a bad kid. He just he just did what kids do. Sometimes they do stupid stuff. That don't think because you can, I can't say that he didn't know that having a weapon on him without a license, and I know he probably didn't have a license because he just turned 18. Um, you just made a mistake, did something stupid, but it's nothing to take your life for, and it's nothing to you got um, you got four cops, surrounding the car, and more than likely they did have their weapons out at the beginning. You know, that's normally how you go. They're not going to pull their weapons out at the beginning as soon as they stop you, unless it's something that make them feel like jail is no picnic. It's better than die. Yeah, yeah, much better. You're still here to visit and see your parents and your family, and to right your wrong, and that's all he would had to do. It's just right his wrong, whatever the punishment would be for him having that weapon. That's a part of growing up, becoming a man. Pay for the mistakes that you made, or pay for the dumb stuff that you did. But it's not worth killing yourself or dying. And that was no. Watch that clip, and do I think, and like I said, I'm not an attorney, okay? Um, so I don't know, but this is just my opinion. Do I think those officers were wrong, and how they handled the stop and what happened? I have to say no. The only thing that and I can't even say that I would question, because when I was about to say that, I had to put myself in their shoes about how many times they shot. It goes back to your adrenaline. When you know someone is reaching and coming out with something that could possibly take your life, your adrenaline is pumping, 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 and you shoot. And when you shoot, you will shoot until the threat is gone. That's now there's, let's see, they probably had about maybe what 16, 16 bullets in their gun, each each officer, because they have ex, extended clips, law enforcement clips. Okay, and it's four of them. And like I said, you shoot until the threat is gone. Do I think they were wrong in the way they handle um, the traffic stop? Uh, no. Do I think that they were wrong? Um, how they tried to get the young man out the car, from what I seen and what I heard, how, what I heard them saying. No, they was really trying to talk him out of the car, and really handle him with kid gloves by telling him it's gonna be okay. You'll be able to tell your family that in person, that you love them. Nothing's gonna happen to you. The the only thing I think may that they may get criticized on is the 35 to 40 shots. If that's true, I mean, I don't know positively if that's how many shots that was fired. But if it was, it seemed to be um, probably to, like I said, civilian people, overkill. Y'all probably use the word overkill. And him being inside the car, sitting down, but y'all don't look at the fact that police, um, once you pull that trigger, you pull that gun out clear that holster, and have to pull that trigger. Uh, what follows that is adrenaline, and you shoot and you fire and you pull the trigger until the threat is gone, and you feel this you safe. If 35, 40 shots were, I don't know, but I'll say they criticize on that. Do I think they will lose their job behind it? No, I don't. I don't. And I same thing. Marilyn, I wish them condolences. Uh, it's so sad. Hey, Miss TR, it's sad. 18-year-old, just turned 18, a child. When I seen his face, he a child, and just to think that he felt that he had to pull that trigger. Sad. Hey, Miss TR. Yeah, and I know it's hard for the family because they probably don't understand why he would uh, he would pull the trigger on himself. And I I understand people how what's been going on lately for people of color just because to live. Yeah, he just started to live. He probably haven't even moved out of his parents or grandmother or whoever he lived with. Haven't even moved out on his own. Got his own first apartment or whatever. Um, but that's unfortunate. And that's to have to bury this the child. Mm, I understand it's hard for any parent have to bury their child, especially when they think or when they feel that the police department killed their child. Um, like some of the other police killings. I think because he pulled the trigger as soon as the police heard the gunshots, they automatically start shooting. Yeah, and what they did, and that's what you would do as a police officer. You're not going to stand there and wonder, was he shooting at me? I mean, that's not what. That's not. Yeah, as soon as you hear a shot, you their gun is probably already out there holstered because after um, Ashton and begging this young man to um, show him his hands, and stop reaching and step out the car. That just get out the car, just step out the car, and he wouldn't do it. When they seen him reaching, that's when they grab the gun and clear their holster and get ready in case they had to. And when that first shot went off, you don't know if you've been shot at. You don't know if you've been shot until it actually hit you. So you don't wait and find out. You start shooting back at the target, and that's what they did. They're not wrong for their training. That's training. So you can't fault the police. But for people to want to say that the police killed him, you can't say that either because he pulled the gun from under the seat. That first shot came from him, and they seen him go. He flew back, and that means he shot himself. If somebody else would have shot him, he would have went down like this. But see, civilian people don't know that. They don't. All they want to, you know, all they want to say is that the police killed him, and no one will know until the coroner have have his body, and the coroner would be able to say um, whose bullet took his life. I think the boy was scared and not in his right mind and confused. I did too. I think he was a little. Definitely, I knew he was scared. I mean, because who wouldn't be? Being who's not scared being stopped by the police? I mean, me, law enforcement. If when I get stopped by the police, my heart beats fast. Always have, always have, and I'd be telling myself, "This is crazy. My heart beating fast like I'm a civilian. Still do. So and ain't no telling all that was probably going through his mind that he didn't want to he didn't want to go to jail, you know. Um, he probably was thinking the worst thing possible, being caught with that gun, of what he had to, the consequences he had to face. So maybe thinking he maybe had to stay in jail a while because he had that gun. Mine just probably was going and just probably thought that it was it was easier to take his life than to go to jail. It was, and which is, but he was 18, and like they had said, he had been abused by the police before, and if that's true, um, then that may be why he thought that it was easier uh, to shoot himself than to go to jail. And unfortunate, and hopefully, if they did, that's really sad to just to abuse a child, because he's still a child now, and if that happened um, earlier in his life, he was most definitely a juvenile, and I could see being scared. Mm-mm. And like I said, maybe he shot himself and gone from on the seat, and there could have been, yeah, um, could have been could have been that, but he called and talked, whether it was I don't know if his mom, his aunt, his grandma, or somebody, and he was telling them that he loved him. To tell my sisters and that I love them. I love tell my mama I love her and all this. So when someone says that, that tells you that they're either thinking about having a gun battle with the police, and they probably not gonna make it out. So they saying they goodbyes and I love yous. Hey, dark and lovely, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. Yeah, and usually when people say that, it's because they plan on having a gun battle, and they know they not gonna win. They're not gonna come out. So they go ahead and say they I love yous and goodbyes. Or he already had it in his mind that he was going to, you know, pull the trick for take his own life. Lovely, where you been? Yeah, but then again, somebody had said something about he whoever he was talking to on the phone, he had asked him to come and get him. So I think he probably could have been a bit confused, didn't really know what to do. I mean, it all of it's confusing when you get pulled over by the cop by police officers. It's confusing. unless you haven't did anything, you don't have anything illegal, and still you still gonna be nervous. Hey Chris, what's up? How you doing? You still gonna be nervous. I told you. I think I did great news for holidays. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. 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 You're gonna have a good holiday. Yeah. Yeah. Just sad. And then it's just sad that all this other BS on YouTube that's going on about, you know, being godmother and GoFundMe, Cash Apps, and money and fussing and arguing and all that dragging and stuff. I was in a couple of the chats and it just it gave me a headache. I had to leave and that's when I decided, I said, I'm going to come and do, do a live and just talk about what um, a lot of people, they basically talk about or want, you know, but don't really know the logistics of when you just accuse the police officers of killing this young man. Because I did see first, like I said, first I seen the audio. I just heard the audio and I listened to try to see what I could figure out, and then and just listen to the audio, and you can't really get much from it. But then when I seen the clip, and it's clear, really clear. I seen everything. I seen when the boy was reaching, and then I seen him when he was bent over and he pulled the trigger. That first shot, you heard that first shot. That first shot, I don't know to civilian people, but the first shot is a different shot, a sound from a different gun. To me, it is okay. Um, and then once you hear that first shot, the police are going, that's training. You shoot. Maybe he had a bad experience with cops and been locked up and suffered from abuse. He would die. Yeah, and that's what they were saying. Somebody had said that it was said by the family that he had been abused by the police before, and I think he had juvenile records, so he had gone to jail or juvenile hall or something. But said he had been abused by the police. So understandable if that's true. I could understand him being scared uh, of the police and maybe that's probably why he didn't want to get out the car. He was scared. I understand that. Oh, come on, everyone. And it's been a little dark on here. Yeah, I know. Prayers for the young man and family. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely prayers for them. Because it's hard. I know it's hard for them to get through having to bury such a young child, just starting his life. Just had got him. They say he had just got him 2 jobs, and uh, and just like that, you just have to. One thing I tell my nephews and nieces and family, period, is that you have to follow the instructions of the police. They say, let me see, hands, don't reach for nothing. Don't reach for nothing. Keep your hands up. They say step out the vehicle, step out the vehicle. Hey, quiet storm. How you doing? Could have been abused, race, rape, in jail, and get traumatized. Yeah, and it could have been being traumatized in the red and blues because they was getting pulled over, and he probably it probably just took him, and then if he had that weapon on him, and he probably took it off and put it up under the seat, not wanting to get caught with it, but it just still wasn't worth him shooting himself just because he had the weapon on him. Have to blame someone they don't understand. Then why? Yeah, and that's it. That's it. Because in their mind, he would be still alive if if the police hadn't stopped whoever he was in the car with, and so yeah, they have to blame somebody. They can't blame the boy they was in the car with. They got to blame the police that they shot. Can I see your handcut? I would. They in the living room. Next time we on, I go get them. Hush, quiet store. The other board were removed by the dogs. Oh, the dogs got 'em. Uh, when I seen them, I've seen the officer grab grab one by the hand, but the doors open. He's grabbed by the hand and pulled them down to the ground. And that's why I didn't understand. That's another thing. I couldn't understand why, if the other guys got out and gave, no problems to the police, why uh I mean, I understand that he was scared, but the video that I seen, they was saying, come on, step out the vehicle, show me your hands, and he was like, no, no, I'm not getting out, I'm not getting out. And I was sitting there thinking, like, why is he? And I guess maybe he was traumatized. He didn't want to get out. He was like, no, he wouldn't get out. So quiet stuff. Okay, yeah. Now I don't have any fur on my handcuffs. So if you're looking for some fur, ain't no fur on them. Real things. But yeah. So yeah. So unfortunate. I, it does something to me because it's such there's he was such young, yeah, he was so young, 18. He had just turned 18. He he probably hadn't even taken his first drink because he was in the passenger seat. I don't do for okay, okay. Well, me that I don't do for. But Yeah, 18. And I just can't imagine getting a call. If I had a child that young, getting a call from my child talking about "I love you." It was like what? You know, it. Miss TR, it's been a long time. I, I just thought maybe he stopped coming to my chat. Is he still on here? So yeah, is he still on here, or did he stop coming on? I just I hope the family gets some peace and get whatever they can get from it. I mean, I know there's nothing. I mean, money is not going to bring it back. Um, I don't even. I don't know. Like I said, and I know most of the people on here don't. A lot of them don't like police, and I understand. And most of them don't agree with police. Nothing to say, but I I understand that too. But what I had to say was given from a police law enforcement perspective, and I told it the way I saw it when I saw the clip. Uh, and I had said, and I don't know if y'all heard me, but the I don't think police officers didn't do anything wrong. But I did say the only thing that they may get criticized on may be the number of times that they fired. And I'm not for sure, but it was said that it was 35 to 40 shots. And I can't necessarily say that I I blame them or I think that they're wrong for the number of times that they shot because they're human and your adrenaline, you have adrenaline going when you have to pull your weapon and pull the trigger. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the. What? Oh, we don't have to talk. 35. 35. Yeah, I heard, I didn't really know, but I had heard 35 to 40. Um, that's the only thing that when I first heard about it and they put those numbers of shots, and I thought 35 to 40 shots, and he was in the car sitting down. That's a I said that's a bit much, but then I had to stop and think. There was four officers. Each one of them have each one of them have in their gun um, probably 16 rounds. Depends on the kind of gun that they have. It could be 15 in the magazine, one in the chamber. Okay. So that's 16 times 4. Mm, I got too old to do it in my head, but that's quite a few bullets. And the training is you shoot until the threat is gone. You shoot until you can get behind cover. And then again, you have to you have to think about the adrenaline. What if I was up on somebody's car like that, and I may not possibly seen him going reaching under the seat for the gun, but if one of the other officers or the couple of the officers, they're going to yell out, he's got a gun, and once they yell that out, that's when you start shooting. You don't wait until he's pointing the gun at you or until he shoot at you. They need new training. Why do you think they need new training? What part do you think is wrong that I said? The car door was open and the police was talking to him with the door open. Yeah, yeah, I seen the door open. But if you're reaching up under the seat and you have a gun, they going I mean, you're a threat. That's a threat. That's a threat. You don't have to point the gun at them. That's why they say, "Let me see your hands." But they need new training. Uh, Quiet storm. Which part? Which part? Which part? That I said shoot until the threat is gone. Wish I had my phone so I could add up the 16 times 4 is 16 bullets is 4 officers, 24 officers. Well, they didn't shoot until the magazine was empty. They didn't. Suicidal. No, they didn't. And he probably didn't know he was suicidal either until he realized that he unless until he probably was thinking about that he would get caught with a gun, but it wouldn't have been that bad enough to shoot yourself. You know, I, I, I could have possibly, well, I'm not going to say I understand suicide um, if you had 30 years, but it would have been nothing like that, no time like that for him. Nowhere near that. So I mean, I don't understand, but he was a young kid. He probably was thinking something way worse. You're not wrong, but you said They shoot until the threat is gone. That boy wasn't a threat. Plus, yes, yeah, he was a threat. Yeah, he was a threat. Once he pulled that gun from under the seat, he became a threat. Hmm. Plus, they got the other boys out the car. I'm sure they had a better way to get him. No, it's the other two guys. They got him out because well, Miss TR said the dogs got them out. The one that I seen, the clip that I seen one of the cops reach from the side in the back door, grabbed the guy by the arm because I think he had his hands up. He grabbed him by the arm. He pulled him out like we normally do, and he just pulled him down to the ground. And that's how they got the two guys that was in the back out. And I just didn't understand why he didn't go easily like they did. I mean, it it wasn't like he was by himself. He had other guys. There was other guys in the car with him. But why didn't they pull him out when they got the other one? Those other guys put their hands up. They was not resisting. He was resisting. If you resist arrest or you resist, you can't resist. That's a charge. That's a criminal charge. Resisting the police, resisting arrest, and he was resisting, even though they was asking him to step out the car. He said no, and he wouldn't. And see, they had to be safe. They couldn't just go, reach up in there, reach in there. Hey, this be how you doing? They couldn't just reach in there or stick their head all up in there and trying to get him out because he could have blew their head off. So they had to do it. They had to do it the right way, which is take them out the car one by one. Do you know the reason for the stop? You know what? I'm not sure why they stopped him. You were to shoot someone. Yeah, yeah, hmm yeah. I was wondering why they got stopped. I know it was a traffic stop, so it wasn't. I don't think it was nothing serious. Uh, I don't know if somebody said why, or did they say it was a traffic stop. I think they just said it was a traffic stop. I don't think it was anything serious because even the cops said um, it said traffic stop. Okay, yeah, they said it was a traffic stop, and he probably just panicked because he probably knew he had the gun on him. He probably slipped it up under the chair, the seat where he was sitting, and he knew if he got out, he was going to be charged with having the gun because it was up under his seat, but it um, it just it just kills me to think that he felt that it was no way out, that it was that he had to take his own life because it wasn't that. I mean, it's not that serious. Traffic stop on the petition to the governor. Yeah, or they probably got a petition against the police, the cops. Well, I mean, I guess they always do. These young men shouldn't be this scared. God bless them. No, they shouldn't. But somebody said that he had been abused by the cops before, so um, maybe he was, traumatized, and he was just scared, or he was scared because he knew he had that weapon. All white. Oh, who's that? Florida, Jacksonville, Florida. It's a lot of white cops. Jacksonville. Mm. But from the way, but I mean, I guess you could never. Yeah. But from the way that the clip that I was looking at, from the way that they was talking, and really trying to, uh, I, I say handle him with kid gloves, but what I mean is trying to let him know that he was okay. He was not going to be harmed when he was calling, talking to whoever that family member was. Uh, I thought they did a great job um, trying to get him to get out the car. So, but yeah, I mean, what's the things that's been going on with people of color, men of color, um, West Florida, and all the rest of them? I understand how it would be, but I'm what I do perspective is perspective of being a law enforcement officer, not um, not a civilian, not yeah, not a civilian. Give it 2 weeks. The autopsy will tell what happened. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That the coroner, the coroner would be able to tell um, which bullet, whose bullet, because there's going to be probably two different bullets. The bullet from the gun that he used to shoot himself, and the bullet from the officers. And all those officers um, normally use the same ammunition. Okay, they all have the same ammunition. So there'll be two different types of ammunition, and the coroner will be able to tell which bullet he if he shot himself, not if he shot himself, because they did say he shot himself. And from the video, you could see that he did shoot himself, because the first shot, you see him go up. If somebody else had shot him, he would have went down. So that shows you the difference between uh, him shooting himself and somebody else shooting him. So he did shoot himself. You could see it. Bless these young men. They shouldn't be scared. God bless them. Yeah, I tell you, I think I told Miss my group of people in my chat, and I was police officer. I was in my uniform, had my guns on, and I was followed by the police. I don't know how many miles, probably about 10 miles. uh, till I realized that I was being followed and boxed in. So I decided I'd pull into a gas station just to see for sure if they were following me. Pulling into that gas station. Police cars from the front of me from came in. They boxed me in. They jumped out. I had guns pointed at me from every angle. Now, you talking about scared? Very much so. And I was in uniform, gun on my hip and the gun in between my seat. All because um, the state of Texas sent me a license plate for my vehicle that was stolen. Yeah. uh, and I was so shaken. I had to sit there for a while because I looked in my rearview mirror and guns were pointing me at every angle. And I almost pissed on myself. So I understand people getting pulled over and being nervous as all outdoors because I still do. From his pictures and video, he seemed like a normal teenager having fun. This is so sad. No one should be scared. Yeah, yeah, he did. He was a well, he seemed like he was a fun guy. Uh, Pictures I seen that he seemed like he was always having fun. He was always smiling and he still had that baby face. Just turned 18, so you know he's a child, still a child. People don't think in those situations. I wish the person on the phone would have told him to listen to the police. Yeah, yeah. I wish they had just told him to calm down. Just put the phone down. Put your hands up. Just step out the car. It's not whatever that has been done, whatever you have on you. It's not that the consequences, whatever it is, it's not that bad. It's not that serious. And she would come and get him. Person on the phone would have told me listen to the police. And she would come and get him. The other boys saw him. He would have also, yeah, he would have. I mean, he would have. I mean, I don't know how. Not Georgia. Why I keep saying Georgia? Is it Georgia? What Jacksonville, Florida? I don't know how Florida's gun laws are, how harsh they are, because I know some states like New York. I know New York don't play. Uh, their gun laws are really strict. So I don't know how Jacksonville's, Florida's gun laws are. But if he had a gun on him at 18, I know he don't have a concealed weapon license. But it's not like you would be going to jail for 5 years or something like that. I mean, I don't know their laws, but I just don't see that you would be going to jail because you had a gun on you. I mean, 18, you're not old enough to have a gun. Mm, you don't have license for it. I don't know about Georgia. I don't know how. I keep saying Georgia, Florida. I don't know how Florida's gun laws are, so I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, it wouldn't be that bad. Let me see. I couldn't watch it. You couldn't watch it. It I lost it. I, I was. You talking about shaking? If I had to have stepped out of my vehicle, I would have probably passed out. My knee, my legs, my whole body was just shaking from just being scared. And when I looked up and seen them pointing them damn guns at me from every, I told the guy, I was like, "Hey, put that, get them damn guns off me! The hell are you? Why are y'all? What y'all got these guns on me for?" I mean, and people were just being nosy because it was a gas station. Because I pulled up just because I wanted to see if they was actually following me. And it's like put them damn guns. When the senior officer came up to my door and he seen me in uniform and seen my badge hanging up on me, he was like, he told me, put him down, put him down, put him down. I say, it's like, what is the problem? And he was like, oh, how long you been having your vehicle? I said, uh, it was, I, it's I bought it a year. I bought it a year. It was like I think it was 2011. I bought it in 2010, and he was like, I was like, why'd y'all stop me? You've been following me all this time. I said, I seen you. I seen somebody. I seen one that was behind me. It was behind another car that was behind me. I said, there was one to the left of me. There was one to the right of me. I said, and then you had cars that was on side streets that was just sitting there. I was like, I knew something was not right. That's why I pulled up in the gas station just to see if you was following me. And I began, if you were following me. He was like, yeah, your license plate come back stolen. I said, stolen? No, you got to be kidding me. No, no. And he said, well, let me try to run it again. He kept running. And he said, yeah. He said, where you get the license plate from? I said, state of Texas. They mailed it to me about 6 months ago. And he said, yeah, they come back stolen. So now, after that happened to me, after I was able to drive, I was shaking so bad. I told him I know the guy. He probably was scared that I was going to report him because they had all them damn guns pointed at my head over stolen stolen car, and you had like 10 or 15 cops just had circled me and had all these guns pointed at me over a stolen license plate that didn't even match my vehicle that I was in. So yeah, I understand because I had to sit there for a while before I could drive home. I was that shaken up. And then after you sit there and think about it, you think, what if one of those cops would have accidentally pulled their trigger? Yeah, you go through out. Yeah, I was just my heels was shaking so bad. I did they know you were one of them. Oh, Miss Tia, I had my uniform on. Yeah, that was overkill. Oh, man, what Bama did was wrong. You don't find what Bama did was wrong? Um, I really don't. I really don't really get into that. I mean, I don't. I wasn't really following all that because it gave me a headache. Um, I don't know. Um, the church doesn't justify you your life. No, no. Be compliant so you can live. Yeah, and that's why I tell what happened when they see me was a cop. Tell the story. Oh, oh, they was apologizing. The senior cop was really apologizing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, man, tell him get put them guns up. Because even though he was talking to me, they still had their guns up. And I kept looking in my rearview mirror, and they were still standing there. And they was rookie. They looked like rookie cops to me. And you too. And yeah, I don't have any. Um, yeah. And I just said, don't. I said, no, 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 no. Tell them put them guns down. What? Before they pull the trigger. And he was like, put them down, put them down, put them down. And then they was coming up, was like, hey, how you doing? I said, I thought I was doing okay until now. But I said, but I'm shaking like hell now. And they was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I was like, I, yeah, I understand. I understand you're sorry, but goodness gracious, you need 15 cops and guns pointed at my doggone head. They're like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but we ran your license plate, and it was like, why in the hell you run my license plate? Why'd you run my license plate? For what reason did you run my license plate? And then he was like, I was like, he's like, what? Can I get you? Let me get your VIN number and let me see if I can run it that way. If you want me to, okay, quiet store. I'll get those handcuffs for you next time. But and I was, and he tried to run it. He's like, "You want me to get my supervisor?" I was like, "No, it's okay. It's okay." I say, just next time, just don't do that. Decom this wrong in so many ways. Yeah, yeah. I knew they was profiling because I just I kept saying, why are you running my license plate? Of all the people that was on that street that I was on, you ran my license plate. So so that's why now I have and have had since then personal license plates. After that, I'm doing straight down and got ordered me personal license plate. Let me see. Somebody said, "Right trigger, happy fingers." Yeah, you ain't gonna shoot me. Um, hello. Miss Lady Scoop, what you say was wrong? What's wrong in so many ways? Hey, easy money. What's up? Deep topic tonight, huh? Yeah, yeah, a little deep. All right, quiet storm. I see you. Yeah, how you gonna profile me and then you gonna surround me and here I am with uniform on. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm like, you see that badge hanging up there? You see my uniform? Like I really stole this vehicle, huh? Okay, who was that? I was talking to somebody. What the cops did. Well, I'm like I said, I know. A lot of people probably think that it was wrong or that they did something wrong. And my perspective is from being a law enforcement officer and from what the clip that I seen. Okay, I didn't see them. I didn't see them do anything wrong. They may have. The only thing I see they may be criticized on, and definitely from civilians, they're going to be criticized. People are going to say they shot him 35, 40 times. Um, I don't think they probably didn't hit him 35 or 40 times. I know they didn't shoot him 35 or 40 times. They shot. They shot their wet. They may have shot. Uh, it may have been that many bullets that hit um, inside the car, maybe outside the car, you know. But he probably didn't get hit that many times. But I, tell me what you think they did wrong. Running on problem. I'm fried. I need more sleep. Beach. Miss Lady Scoop. And I knew a lot of people would that if they didn't have law enforcement experience or background, they would disagree with me because all they all they're going to see is that this young man got killed, and the police just happened to was the ones that pulled them over during a traffic stop, and they pulled their weapons and they shot 35 to 40 bullets. But the young boy um, so shot himself, and I know I heard people saying, "Well, if he shot himself, then why did the cops have to shoot him too?" The cops didn't know what he was shooting at. When you see that weapon or hear that gunshot, you don't know what he's shooting at. You don't know if he's shooting at you, then you're gonna return fire, and that's what they did. Even though with that video you've seen that he shot himself because you've seen how he moved. When they approached the car, you had your uniform on and proof of who you are. Yeah. hmm But they didn't know that until until they got up to until the senior officer came up to the door, because with them standing around my car, my windows are tinted, so they couldn't see in my car to see I had a uniform on, or what I looked like, or any of that. Not until he walked up to my door, and then he seen me. He seen my uniform. He seen my badge on me. He seen my badge hanging on my rearview mirror. And then that's when he gave me the hand signal, drop the guns, put the guns up. Some of them weren't paying attention. That's when I looked at, and they still had the guns out, and that's when I told him, tell him, put them guns up. Your shots fired. You reacted. Yes. Yeah. When when they heard him shoot himself, all they know, he shot. They don't know who he shot at. Uh, it's just you start moving back, and you you shoot until the threat is gone. Such a, yeah, it's sad. And I still get nervous if police car get behind me and pull me over. I'm not scared that they're gonna shoot me or anything. I just nervous. I don't know. And and just like him, they said that he had been abused by the police before, and it may have been the same effect he had that I see. Well, I think almost everybody get nervous if they get pulled over by the police. You just get nervous. But he probably just, he may have been traumatized if he had been abused by the cops. But like someone said, I just wish whoever he was talking to on the phone had tried to talk him into getting out the car and calming him down, because it just wasn't worth dying for. I was like, yeah, because like I told him, I said this would be one one thing in my life that I would never forget, and that's this incident. Seeing all those guns pointed at me, and I ain't never forgot that. I was guilty if there's cops behind me. Yeah, they make you feel guilty. You start thinking, you start wondering, did I do this? What did I do? Do I want to do I have something in here? You know, yeah, I understand. What would you have done differently? Um, what have what would I have done differently? Nothing. I mean, there was nothing I could have done different. Um, you're talking about when they when I got pulled over, well, when I got pulled over and surrounded by the cops and guns pointed at me. Not really nothing. There was nothing that I could do differently because I didn't do anything. Um, They ran my license plate for don't know why, even though I asked them, and being a law enforcement officer myself, so I know I didn't do anything. All right, Miss TR, you have a good night. Mine wasn't thinking logically to take his life. Something else was going on in his state of mind. Let me get back to ease. Yeah, because I was a police officer, so yeah, yeah, I yeah, I was, but it was nothing I could do. Um, I pulled once they was following me about 10 blocks, and that's when I noticed cops, but there were some that was in cars. But I started noticing when I changed lanes, and I was changing lanes purposely, and they would like change lanes with me. So that's why I pulled up in the gas station to actually see if they were following me. And once I pulled up in the gas station, then the one behind me turned his lights on. Once he turned his lights on, they lit me up in a circle. It was cars in cars in front of me, and they were behind me, and they jumped out, and they was all pointing guns. Oh, you say in Bond's case? Oh, what? Oh, okay. What I would have done differently? Um, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have done anything different. Like I said, from the video, the clips that I seen, they they didn't do anything. The cops didn't do anything wrong. They did they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They made a traffic stop. There was what four? I think it was four guys in the car, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, they got the driver out, if I'm not mistaken. Then they got the two guys in the back, got them out, and as the way that I seen them get the guys in the back seat out, they did right. They had the hands up, and they grabbed by the hand and got him out the car, and they was trying to get the young guy out, and he he refused to get out. And then he got on the phone and was calling his family member and saying, "Tell so and so I love him." So right then and there, that tell you in his mind, it was either thinking he was going to get shot by the cops, or or he was already planning taking his own life. And if he thought the cops were going to shoot him, it would be because he was not going to um he was going to resist. Okay, so when he was talking, saying, tell so and so I love you, then he goes to reach up under the chair or the seat that he was sitting in, and that's when you heard the cops start saying, "Don't stop reaching, let me see your hands." And he didn't. And once, as police officers, you see somebody reaching for something, and you can't say it's his cell phone because he's talking on his cell phone. Or he's reaching, and he comes up, and you heard a shot, and you seen him go. That means he shot himself. But the cops don't know. They heard a shot, and they don't know if he's shooting at them or what. Training kicks in. Once he was reaching, that's when you pull your weapon, You clear your holster and you start. And when that first shot went off, that's when they started shooting. That's where you get the 35 to 40 shots. And I know people say that's an overkill, but people have to understand cops are human. They get scared too. When someone has a gun and you hear shots, you're going to shoot and you just going to pull that trigger. And training is you pull that trigger, you shoot until the threat is gone. Like you don't have more ammo. What you would have happened if you had not been a police officer? If I had not been a police officer, whew, I don't even know if I could think any other way than being a police officer. 20 plus years, and I would be lying if I if I say I could think in any way than being a police officer. So I don't even know how I would think, how I would look at this if I wasn't a police officer. I, and I may look at it as regular civilian people like y'all. I may have said they shot him down in the car. I may have said that because it probably looked like that. It probably looked like that to the civilian people, the civilian, the people like y'all that don't know that for police you're trained in the gun battle. Shoot till the threat is gone. You in which I call you civilians. Okay, sometimes civilians don't really have sympathy for police because you don't know that it's not easy to shoot a person. It's not easy to take the life of a person. It's not easy to have to pull that gun out that holster, knowing somebody is shooting at you. And you just do the best that you can because at the beginning of your shift, what what everybody mindset is, I'm going home at the end of the night. I'm going home at the end of the day by any means necessary. And you have to do that. You have to go home at the end of the night. So if I did not know any of law enforcement um, training and stuff, I may say the same thing y'all said. I may say the cops just shot him down. They killed him. But like I said, I'm glad I never had to be off the military was enough for me. Yeah, yeah. Um, because um, I've heard people say, yeah, the cops killed that poor boy. The cops killed that boy, and I'm okay. They they really can't say that the cops killed him because if he shot himself, the cops didn't kill him. and he the coroner will be able to tell whose bullet killed actually killed him, whether it was police or the bullet from his gun. And now, he may, I don't know if he shot himself in the head. I don't know. Did I hear? I'm not sure if they said he shot himself in the head or did he shoot himself somewhere else. I don't know. But like I said, when once they do the autopsy, they'll be able. The coroner will be able to um, tell whose bullet actually killed him. But do I think the cops will lose their job behind it? Do I think they did anything wrong from the clip that I seen? No, I don't. Like I said, don't think that I can say that they may be criticized on, and and that would just be the 35 or 40 rounds that they shot. And I myself, I can't say that I would criticize them. I would criticize them because I know once you have to pull your weapon to knowing somebody have a gun and you hear a shot, after that it's adrenaline. You're shooting to protect yourself to make sure you go home at the end of the night to your family. And that's why you and I understand he was 18, he was a kid. He I think I think he was confused. Um, just didn't know what to do. I really think he just didn't know what to do. He was confused. Um, but that's why you comply. You follow instruction. Follow the instructions. And I'm not saying that that's going to save every black man, every black person, every person that have dealings with the police. But with stuff like this, comply, follow the instructions. And being so young, 18, such a baby, feeling that, I don't know, shooting himself was better than what? Dealing with the consequences of having a weapon. It wasn't that serious. Not dying. 18, just turned 18. Not being a police. Yeah, I know the family feel, you know, probably feel that the cops, just another police killing of another black man. But from, like I said, from when the clip of the video that I seen, I don't see it like that because they were really talking to him, trying to convince him to get out the car, show his hands, and you know, telling him that he could, he'll be able to tell his family that he loved them in person. Nothing was gonna happen to him. So I think they did a good job trying to talk him out of the car, and he just wasn't going for it. No, sad because you wonder. I wonder about people I've had to deal with, and even I've wondered with this young boy here. I wonder, why wouldn't you get out the car, or why would you have thought that it was that bad? You can't get an answer. You don't know. You'll never be able to get that answer. Even the family, they don't. They're never going to get it. They'll never have an answer. They don't know. It had to be something within him that he was going through, or maybe he just got confused from. Mm, they say he had been abused by the police before. Could have been that he was traumatized and got confused. No, he didn't want to go to jail, having that gun, thinking that he may have to go to jail, and got abused again. Just all kinds of stuff. Hey, Cassandra, you just coming in? You just waking up? Or you just dropping down? Psychological impact on black man have on today's. Yep, yep, that's true. Absolutely true. That's true. It's it's sad. It's definitely sad for me to think that one would rather take their own life than to have to deal with being in the hands of police. Scared, just waking up. Okay. I'm scared that they may be the next uh, George Floyd or one of the other guys. That's about the only one I know. Um, Sad. And I'm not saying that jail is no piece of cake, because Lord knows I wouldn't want to go to jail. I mean, but it's better than death, dying any day. It's better than dying, taking your own life, or getting shot by the cops. Matter of fact, getting shot by anybody. But I hope his family find peace. I mean, stuff like this, it bothers me definitely being would have been so young, so still a baby, innocent, just life just beginning. And life just gone. Because like, I think I heard him say something about they. I think the guys were they on their way from work or something? If I'm not mistaken. And then think about what if it were just 20 minutes earlier or 20 minutes later, he would still be here, be alive, so young. But I just it's sad. Yeah, and believe me, I mean, I did say at the beginning, y'all that might wasn't here. I knew a lot of people wouldn't agree with me on this, but I mean, I knew because they don't have the same perspective that I have because I'm looking at it at a different angle. I'm not looking at it as a civilian. I don't think I could ever look at it as a civilian. I've been cop too long, but I don't I don't agree with dirty cops. I don't take up for dirty cops. I don't. Um, I don't. But if I look at one of these cases, and I see I see where to me the cops didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to say that's how I feel. That doesn't mean because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. 'Cause it may turn out to be that they have to go before a judge and a jury. They even may end up being sued. I don't know. And if I was one of those cops, then I would be standing in the same judgment because I would have done the same thing the same way. Because I don't I didn't see them doing anything um, illegal, wrong, any misconduct. I didn't see or hear any um, anything racial from it. I don't know uh, about how Jacksonville, Florida is with racism. I don't know. I've never been to Jacksonville, Florida. So that part I don't know. And just because they seem to be nice doesn't mean that they are nice officers in Jacksonville, Florida. So don't get me wrong. It just seems like many shots was an overkill. Yeah, and that's what everybody was saying. And when I first heard about it, and I heard the 35 to 40 shots, I did the side eye. I said 35 to 40 shots. Mm. I was like, ooh. Now that that's where I said, I'm not gonna say that they were wrong with that many shots, and I'm not saying they were wrong. And the reason I'm not saying that they were wrong because I know about adrenaline, and I know about when you go to, you there was four officers and four officers with each gun. Depends on what kind of gun they have. It holds about 16, 15 bullets in the magazine and one in the chamber. So you got four officers. That's a lot of bullets. And if you got, okay, they say 30, 35 to 40 shots. Let's see, four. They might have shot six, seven, four, eight, eight, maybe nine times. Well, say 10. That'd be four shots. So that'd be they shot 10 times each. That's really um that's really not a lot of shots from one officer. But the y'all hear 35, 40 shots because it was one person, but the officers are only shot say 10 times. Each officer say 10 times possibly. And they don't have any kind of uh, um, any concealment or any because they're standing outside the car. So when they heard the shot, they have to shoot and try to back up and get behind cover, try to find some cover. So they're just shooting. They're shooting. You shoot until the threat is gone to you. You know the person is no longer shooting at you. And even though he shot one time, which he shot himself, they didn't know what he was shooting at. You don't wait until the person points a gun at you before you pull your gun out of your holster. That's not the way it goes. If I see you about to point a gun at me, my gun is coming out that holster real quick, and I'm pulling the trigger. I'm not going to wait until you decide if you're going to shoot me or not. So in a way to civilians, it do look like it was an overkill. But you have 4 officers, and believe me, all 4 officers is going to shoot. So yeah, they had didn't they have what was it, Black Lives Matter march? Was it today or was it yesterday? It should be quite interesting to see, how it actually turn out. I feel for the officer. I always do. Yeah, I can't lie. I can't, because civilians forget that we're human beings also. That we get scared also. When people pull guns on us, we get scared. You see, I'm minding my business driving, and I followed 10 blocks and then pull over, and then next thing I know, I got 15 guns at my head. I was scared as hell. So yeah, every time I had to fight, every time I knew I was gonna have to fight somebody, yeah, people didn't know and couldn't tell. But I was scared. I don't know. Yeah, I, I heard people was not able to look at the clip of it, and I thought it was something more to it. But well, to me, uh, but I I didn't really see anything that was, but I guess, for normal people, it is. It's a little disturbing to be used to hearing gunshots and seeing people getting shot, seeing kids, anyway, seeing a child get shot. Yeah, but yeah, I wonder, did the is the officer still working, or did they put them on? Did they suspend them in the investigation? Nobody probably don't know. I didn't hear. I hadn't heard if they were still working or not. But if they, um, well, I know the family feel that the officers um, mm, find a nice way of putting it, um, took his life. But Now, this is another thing. It could come back. The coroner could come back and say that the bullet from could be one of the bullets that actually killed him, even though he attempted to kill, take his own life. He shot himself and commit suicide, but it still would the officer wouldn't be at fault. That wouldn't necessarily put the officer at fault because his bullet, one of their bullets, is the actual bullet that took his life, that actually killed him. Cassandra, when you just waking up? Yeah, I was. Did you make it over to Brianna's live? I was over there and I just couldn't take it anymore. All of that screaming and yelling and dragging and what? Yeah, did I freeze? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, was I think that clip? Wasn't that clip? That clip was from the body cam, one of the officers' body cam, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they said. And so it ain't much they can lie about when the body cam shows and you got the audio and the video shows shows everything, and you can hear everything. Everything was clear. That's why I previous slide. Yeah, I cause she was she was doing that yelling. My head so hurt. I was like, I'm just gonna go start starting my live and just talk about this police part. Let's see. They give out their names. I didn't hear about no any names. Yeah, they probably they probably are suspended pending investigation, and that because that's just normal how it's done. Once they decide whether they were at fault or they were not at fault, um, then they will be cleared and back at work. And that's why I say I don't see them not being not cleared because watching the video, they didn't do they handle everything correct. I, I watched it. I listened. Unless there was some, I didn't see I didn't see the traffic stop. Okay, which that shouldn't have been any issue. Normal traffic stop. Um, And let me see. Now, I didn't see the part where they took the driver out the car on that video, the video that I seen, and that I seen that clip off of Chopper's live, and it was clear. It was I think it was from one of their cam, uh, their not the dash cam body. Um, the only thing, like I said, the only thing that I could see that they they can be criticized on is the number of shots. And I myself, I I can't say I was criticizing on that because that's only like 10 shots a piece for each officer, and that's not a lot. That's not a lot of shots. I, and I feel for, I always, have to feel for sympathy and empathy for the officers also because sometimes, people don't realize that they go through some officers, being that we're human too, um, have to go through therapy, counseling, um, for if they have to shoot another human being or if they take the life of another human being, they may have to go through counseling for 6 months to a year, maybe longer than that, or they may end up just getting out the profession. Some may not be able to deal with that, knowing they took somebody's life, and it happens. So I always have to feel feel bad for them. Not the dirty cops. I'm not a. Don't get me wrong. I have I don't have any sympathy for no dirty cop. I just don't. I don't. What civilians can't see from a police officer. We just think it's hard too much. Yeah, yeah, and that's that's true. It's just like I think one of the ladies uh, was I think it was E asked me how would what I would think. I think what I would think or how would I feel. Let's see. Oh, yes. Let's see. Oh shit. I forgot what it is. Oh, did I miss it or something? Well, I think she had asked me, was it Miss Scoop? Uh, how would I see it if I wasn't a cop? And first, I said, to be honest, I don't think I've been one for so long. I don't know if I would even be capable of thinking. as a civilian. I don't even know. But then again, I maybe just I may feel the way everybody else. I may just say, hey, they they shot down this child. Yeah, I, my mind goes when I just like with that George, what is George Lord George. I'm something I'm not getting right. I'm just gonna say Lord, Floyd, Floyd. Okay, no one didn't sound right. Now, when I seen that video, I knew I called everything on that was new. Absolutely not. The officer having his hand in his pocket was the first thing that that got me. Said absolute no, 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 no. Mm-mm. I knew that was bad. That was bad right there. When I seen he had his hand in his pocket, he had this smirk on his face. I just hope this family gets peace and whatever else that can make their life. George Floyd. Oh, okay. I get it all confused. I'll be calling him George, George, Lord, Lord, whatever they can get from it to its peace and yeah, yeah, yeah. That was murder. That one was murder. Uh, and that one, I did a video, a reaction video, and I was shocked by that one because I knew the guy. I knew he was calling for his mother, but somebody told me while I was on live that he, they said, yeah, he's calling for his mother. But, his mother is, is dead. Is deceased. And once they told me that, it hit me, and I got choked up on my video and just lost it. That was that got me. Know that this man was crying out for his mother that was deceased. Yeah, awful. Yeah, I had a hard time sleeping that night. I could not get that out of my head. Uh, he- did he see his mother? His mother was deceased. I think she had been dead for years, but it was just the fact that this grown man probably knew that he was in a bad predicament. And that's mothers is the first thing that kids call for, even though you're not a kid anymore. He was not a kid anymore. He was a grown man, uh, calling calling out for his mama. And she died. You know what? That's what I took from it, is that he he called out for her before he lost his life. Hmm. And there was yeah that one took my sleep for some days. I thought they had. I'm trying to remember if they said we had. Were they having? Did they already have the Black Lives Matter protest march or something? Crossover. She was out the name of relative that had already passed. I heard people say that before. That people people do that. People that were at the crossover, they call people that had already passed and crossed over, something about they would meet them, you know, meet them at wherever they meet them, and maybe that may what what happened with him calling out his mother's name. Yeah, that was sad. That was sad for me. I was sitting there watching when I was watching the video. Maybe they were coming to. Yeah, see, that's what I heard. They meet them and they be there when they come to crossover. I heard, when I uh, watched that video of George Floyd, I was sitting there. I was so mad at them cops, and I was upset at the bystanders too. I was screaming at the camera, going like, "Why are y'all standing there? Good gracious, y'all couldn't do anything. Go over there and push the dog cop off the man's neck. I mean, you're just standing there." Yeah, I was pissed. Please. That's what I heard too. That they do that. Yeah, I was sitting in. Cassandra, did you go to Bama Girls chat? I got. I was in there in the bushes listening to that, and my head was beginning to hurt from that. And then I went to Brianna's, and she got to yelling, and her voice goes up and down, and I was like, I can't do this no more. This is crazy. Let me go over here and let me go over here on StreamYard and make my little video. Because at first I'm just gonna do a video and voice my opinion of it. Then I said, well, I'll just do a StreamYard. If nobody comes, they don't. Which I didn't feel I would get too many people because I know people don't like police, and especially these days and time. And they because of police killings, police beatings, and all that stuff. And I do understand that, but because I am for law enforcement, I just had to voice, you know, my opinion and just give my perspective and my thoughts on what I saw uh, from the video that I see, and give my thoughts on if I thought the officers did anything wrong or any misconduct. Did I see anything racial from it? Which, I really can't tell if they racist or not, not by looking at the video. Here, she could she tried. Oh, you talking about the Alabama girl? Yeah, after being in Bama girls chat, and you know, I, well, I see being in her chat. I don't ever be in anybody's chat. I'm in the clouds. I sit up there where Cassandra always be in the clouds. And I like reading the chat just to, see how people think and how they feel and all this stuff. And but it just got so messy and ridiculous. And you could realize that it wasn't about it. It had nothing really to do with, which I knew. I knew that the video wasn't going to be about this child being killed or being or taking his own life, whichever it is. But it was just about mess, and I got tired of that quick listening to them people yell, uh, yelling and screaming. I was like, nah, I've had enough. And then I went to Brianna's and same thing, and her voice goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up and down. And I was like, have migraines. You can't. I figured I said, I could come on mine and I say I may not get but a few of my normal um, people in my chat that normally come were saying, I didn't think I would have get many other people, especially knowing that people don't care for police. And definitely not going to agree with the way police think, and that was okay. Okay, because there's always people that don't mind listening to other people's perspective, whether they agree with me, or not. And they don't. I mean, they don't have to agree with me. Mine is just because I have law enforcement experience, so I can um, give him that perspective and what I see. If I seen that they did anything wrong or anything like that, and so I did. But I do hope the family get whatever justice that they feel that they deserve, need. I just don't like good cops. Uh, livelihood being destroyed for doing their job the, the right way. Um, doing what they were trained to do. Now, bad cops, I don't care nothing about them. Racist cops, I don't care nothing about them. I'm just talking about this. Everybody was looking at you as the enemy. You seem to be there. Yeah, I you know, they probably, I knew eventually people would get tired of the rah, 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 as they call it, the, the Bama girl against Fabe, with them going at it, and then the stuff, whatever Bama girl did and whatever she didn't do, all of that. So I just said I was going to do was it suicide or was it police killing? And say, let's talk about that because but I knew what most people would call it and were calling it, and they were calling it, and that the police killed. Mm, maybe. Um, and I know most people would was called police killing the young man just because that's 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 just how it goes these days and time. But the video that I seen, I don't see I don't see anything that they did wrong. I honestly don't. I'm not taking it for them because that's my profession. I, I'm I'm for right. I'm being fair, but I'm not a judge nor a jury. So just because this is what I feel, I don't see it. I don't see what they did, that they did anything wrong. Doesn't mean that judge and jury will see that same thing. They may see it different. Yeah, I knew they would talk about it because I would look up and see the number and it would go up and it would go down. Uh, but there are people that know in law enforcement. I'm going to be. I'm not going to go with. Yeah, the police. You know, just you know, murdered this little boy just because everybody else is saying that. And when they don't really know how everything goes, what to look at, what to look for, and I do, and that's why I can say I don't feel they did anything wrong. From what I seen on the video that I seen, okay. Now, if there's some part that's that I show at the beginning or the end or somewhere in the middle, that if something was left out, then that's different. But from what I seen, I didn't see anything wrong. Yeah, Cassandra, they'll be talking plenty noise. They always do. Yeah, yeah, they'll try to consider me the enemy just because take up for um, police. But police is who I am. So, but not dirty police. I don't take up for dirty police. That's the difference. Yeah. So, just on my yeah, I went to sleep. They just I don't know why I would keep wanting to say Miss Lady Snoop. They shot too many times. Um, no, I, I, I don't. And the reason I'm saying that, and I'm saying that because maybe you could, if you could see it from my point of view, or because I'm because I know what they're thinking, what goes through their heads. I know their training, what I know all of that. Okay. And like I was saying earlier, it was, they said 40 shots. Okay. So it may be less, more. If it were 40 shots in all, what, 40 shots. That's only 10 shots each officer because there was 4 officers there. So it's not like one officer shot 40 times. Now, I understand you probably think, well, it still doesn't matter. That's 40 shots. You don't need 4 officers to shoot 40 times at one person. But you have to understand, they're not counting how many times they shoot. They're what they're thinking, and they're thinking, I have to keep shooting until the threat is gone. I have to shooting until I can get to cover or somewhere that I can shield myself to keep from getting shot and killed because they need to go home to their family at the end of the day. So 40 shots may sound like an overkill, but in essence, each officer only shot, and I'm guessing, you know, I'm just evening it out because that don't mean that each one of them shot 10 times. You could have an officer that only shot 5 times and one that may have shot 15 times. But I'm just saying 10 times each officer, that's 40 shots. 10 times is not a lot when you in gunfire. So and then you have to understand you have adrenaline. Once you realize that you are going to have to shoot, you're going to have to shoot, then your adrenaline kicks in. And you don't realize how many times you pull that trigger. You are just trying to make sure you don't get shot and your life don't get 10 times seems like a lot to us regular folks. So, okay. Mm, well, okay. I guess I can understand that. But it's in gun battle, it's not that many times. It's not that much. There have been officers that have shot themselves, have shot their guns. Um, they may have shot 30, 40 times. And when asked how many times did you fire your weapon, they don't have a clue. 'Cause you're not going to know. You may know. You may say, "Well, I know I had to reload. I reloaded, but I'm not sure how many times." And which they take your gun at the scene anyway, at a gun scene, at anywhere where you had had to shoot your gun. They take your gun and they count. Uh, they know how many bullets you're supposed to have, and then they count how many you have, and then they know how many you actually shot. So no, I don't really. It and it if it was if they were not around the car, they may not have had to have um, had that many shots fired, but they were just out in the open, had no cover, no concealment. I just wish he'd shown his hands and got out the car. 18 is way too young to be dying. Yeah, and that's what I said. I wish whoever he was talking to on the phone could have known what um, was really was happening, and um, could have talked him into putting his hands up and getting out the car, because it it wasn't worth him losing his life or whatever he thought was so bad that he lost his life. Too young. They say he just turned 18. He's a baby. Yeah, yeah. I tell my nephews, leave your guns at home. Leave your guns at home. Now, and they're they're men, but I still, I know they take their guns when they travel, and that's understandable. But just follow the instructions of the officer and don't be reaching. Even if you want to, you will still be here with us. Yeah, you'll be here. And like I said, I don't know Jacksonville, Florida's gun laws or gun charges, that how they charges is, but it couldn't possibly um, be. It couldn't have possibly been that bad. He may not even have gotten any time. Possibly, like I said, I'm not from Florida and don't really know their gun laws and how strict they are on their gun laws. But anything is better than dying. I mean, chalk it up to a dumb mistake. Yeah, yeah. With with your concealed handgun license. Yeah, you can walk around. You can walk around with your gun on your hip. In Texas. Yep, walk around with it on your hip. Now I know New York got strict gun laws, don't they? I know New York does. I worked in New York for a little bit, and I had to apply to get their permit. Say that's scary. Everybody walking around with guns on their hip. Yep. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I didn't think. I thought the penalty for people having guns in New York was too too strict that people didn't have guns in New York except for the um, criminals. But you know how people just have guns and don't have the concealed. You know, I thought I didn't think they you have any lawbreakers when it comes to have guns in New York. 'Cause I didn't think New York play. Mm, mm. I had I worked in I had gun permit. I had to get gun permit, and I think I had in 7, 8 states, and California was one. Did I do Florida? I'm not sure. Florida. I know New York. I did. Jersey. I forgot, but it was like 7, 8 states. Yeah, when people in New York guns and the bad guys. Figure that out. So I didn't think the bad guys played around with handguns in New York. Not the way how strict they was when they gun laws. Sometimes you don't sleep all night and then gonna get up. I'm thinking I kept on saying, Cassandra, is that you in the clouds? Didn't get no answer. You don't fell asleep. I'm surprised Love Blake didn't show up. She surely did. See, they still have them. Uh, oh, no problem. I appreciate you coming by. You come by sometimes. I remember you come by quite often. Stop and chit chat with us, and I appreciate you. Let's see you again. Yeah, oh yeah, I definitely I do understand. Even though I state the law and I I talk on the perspective of the police, I do understand um, everyday people's feelings of, of how things are. You know, I'm human too. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely understand. Definitely understand. Notification is horrible. Yeah, I guess so. Because Usually Love Lake will be in here. I guess they not working. 'Cause none of my I don't think Cassandra is in here. Miss Tiara was here. About the only two of my normal people that normally come. They'll they'll be talking about you went live. So they probably didn't get the notification. I'm up now. No notification from. Oh, you didn't get one either. Oh, okay. Cassandra, I didn't know you didn't get one either. She's probably in everybody's chat. You know she is. Lovely be everywhere. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Notification. People that's been tipping in and leaving, they probably just seen my title and want to just see what the hell I was talking about. Probably if they had some tomatoes, they probably would throw them at me. But I understand them. They don't they don't understand. Yeah. Well, hopefully them YouTube streets done slow down a little bit, cool down. Everybody's tempers done cooled down. 'Cause all that yelling, I can't do too much of. Mhm. Yeah, it's, I appreciate you coming. As always, anytime you come by, we appreciate you. And I thank you for engaging in the conversation. Mhm. And, not too many people are jumping in on a conversation like this, talk about police. Yeah, but like I said, I do wish my condolences to the family. Hope they do get uh, peace. Yeah, 'cause, all right. Good night, Miss Lady Scoop. You have a good night and take care of yourself and be safe. Yeah, you can tell her what the live now. I guess I'll go with family. Yeah, definitely do. It's no easy thing. It's not easy when you think when the police killed, killed your child. Mm-mm. I don't know. From while I'm on StreamYard, I can't see. and I don't get any notification. But the way y'all say notifications been, I probably wouldn't have got any notifications anyway. But I haven't got any notification. My little puppy just all up under me. No, but I guess we'll go and check out and see if anybody's live. Somebody, I imagine somebody's live. You know, they got to be live. Somebody's got to be on here talking. May may run into Love late because I know she ain't sleep. She probably in Sir King's chat or somebody's chat. I guess all the people that's in the clouds, I appreciate you for coming and listening to what I had to say, whether you agree or not. Thank you anyway. Could have dipped. You definitely could have dipped in and voiced your opinion, asked questions, gave your thoughts. I don't. I don't bite. I don't block. Well, unless you are unruly, I will block, but are disrespectful to people. But other than that, I'm not. I don't do what the other chats do, and I definitely don't block people just because you don't agree with what I have to say, especially on law enforcement issues. We ain't got. I know most people on here is not going to agree with my perspective because uh, you're just not. She woke up and came looking for me. You were shocked I was on? Yeah, I told you I was. Or did I don't know. I didn't think I did. I tell you I was coming on? I don't think I did. No, I thought I would still be checking out other people's views. I mean, chats, but I couldn't take all that screaming, yelling. So I decided. I knew I was going to do a video, but I didn't know if I wanted to just do a video of me giving my opinion of the um, the clip of the police and the young man Bond would discuss whether I thought it was suicide or a police killing. And then I thought, well, I'll just get on uh, StreamYard and see if anybody stop by. I say maybe some of my regular people come in. If not, I'll just say what I have to say. It'll be that. But a few people stop by, even though if they didn't say anything. And I had a few people that did voice their opinion. Glad of that. Glad. What I do, look, I said I do appreciate uh, those that's in the clouds, in the bushes. I don't always get that many people to come to my chat, but for those that do, I appreciate it. appreciate it. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I forgot. I don't think I really knew that I was gonna come on, but after hearing all that, it was just in me, on me to talk about this, and and I did. But I didn't know you would sleep. All right, you good people. I appreciate you coming by, stopping by, listening, whether you chatted, voice your opinion or not. Wish you would have, but it's okay. Sandra, I guess we'll chase around and look, see if we can find Lovely, because I know she's somewhere. I know she's probably somewhere. I guess she probably somewhere excited, or she getting a lot of having a lot of fun. Right. Well, I guess we'll cruise. See what's going on. You gonna cruise the street? Cause I know you ain't sleepy. You just woke up, madam. You must do. Oh, oh, okay. Okay, we're going to see if we can find a lake somewhere. All right. All right. Thank, thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate it very much. Y'all have a good night. And I will see y'all next video. Oh, by the way, before I go, if you'd like to purchase some Big Squad merchandise, at, uh, at the bottom of you see it strolling by, you can email me and I can you can get the information what I have. I'll chat email and tell you how you get it. If you like to support me, you can buy some merchandise. If not, thank you. All right, y'all have a good one. I appreciate it. Right away, going to watch. All right, I'll be there. I'll be strolling too.